and welcome to my channel. My name's Nicole and here on We Mama I do lots of motherhood, lifestyle, cleaning and organisational content. So if you like that kind of thing, I would love it if you could stick around and maybe consider subscribing. As you can tell by the title, today I'm going to do 10 French baby names that I absolutely adore. A little bit of a backstory. My husband is French. He is from a place called Chauvigny and it's in between La Rochelle and Bordeaux. I hope I'm saying those right. We have two little babies. We have a 1.5-year-old called Didier, and our newest addition is called Nina, which, by the way, if you can hear grunting and snuffling, she is in a Moses basket by there. It's not me grunting away. So when we were expecting our babies, obviously we made name lists. I quite like the idea of having French themed baby names. I'm from South Wales and I wasn't really a fan of any of the Welsh names, but I really loved exploring the French names. I thought they just sounded so pretty and just different. So I tossed a few names back and forth with him, and my husband, he didn't like most of them because he knew quite a few people with these names and he just didn't really like them. You know how it is if you think of a name and you think of that person. He just didn't really want to go with some of these names. I'm going to do 5 girls' names and 5 boys' names, and of the 5 boys' names, there's 2 in there that if we do end up having any more children, if we have a boy, we will be using one of those names. But with the girls' names, he didn't like any of them. I think they are so pretty, and yeah, he wouldn't have any of it. So I'll stop withering on and yeah, get straight into it. So the first name is Odette. I first heard this when I was a kid I thought it was a Disney film, but it's not. It's a cartoon film, and it's basically, I think it's called The Swan Princess. Comment down below if you've heard of it, if you've watched it. It's a great film. The princess in that is called Odette, and I always thought it was just such a pretty name. I really liked it for a little girl. We ended up going with Nina because my husband, he knows quite a few Odettes, and he said, no, don't like it. Yeah, I think it's really pretty. I've never heard of it before aside from that film. When I've googled this name, the meaning that it gives, it's saying that it's a French given name, but it's also a German name as well. So it has German origins, where in the masculine version it would have been Odo and the feminine version is Odette. I just think it's so pretty and I would have loved to have that as a little girl. It also has Albanian roots, and in the Albanian language it means sea. I also quite like that you can't shorten it. It is just quick, simple and snappy. Odette. I really like it. The next girl's name that I really love is one that I can't pronounce properly. I would say Anne. My husband said it's pronounced Anais, and I really like this name, but when he said that, it sounds like a nice, ooh, it's a nice day, and I couldn't get that out of my head. So I think it's spelt really pretty. I just think it looks like a really lovely name. I would prefer it to be pronounced Anne, but then it might look silly to someone who knows how it is supposed to be pronounced when you say Anne, if you know what I mean. The only other time that I've heard this name before is, I think there's a perfume called Anne. I think that's it. I think there's a famous writer or poet called Anne Nin. Like I said, I keep pronouncing it Anne, I just can't get my head around Anais. I still do think this is a very pretty name. If it had been Anne, I might have ended up calling my daughter Anne. It is a French given name and its meaning is grace. My next girl's name is Maëlle. I actually saw this on my husband's Facebook. He is friends with a girl called Maëlle. Again, one of the reasons why he doesn't like these French girls' names, because he knows quite a few Maëlles. So by the sound of it, it is quite a popular name in France. I just thought this was very pretty for a girl's name. You hear lots of L's and L's. I've never heard of a Maëlle or a Maëlle before. I just think it sounds really pretty. Again, it is of French origin, and when I googled it, the name means princess, which is very fitting for a little girl. Another lovely name on the girls' front is Etienne. I love the way that this is pronounced, Etienne. I think it just sounds so pretty. My husband is not a fan. He just thinks the names like star, diamond, things like that, ocean. He's just not a fan. He also said that in France, again, it is quite a popular name. I have never really heard of anyone being called Ocean before. I just like the little twist. Instead of being ocean, it is Ocean. And obviously, as you can tell, the name's meaning is ocean. My last girl's baby name is Elaine. I've heard of Elaine before, but spelt with a Y. It always reminds me of the blonde girl in that film Stardust, because I'm pretty sure her name was Elaine. I quite like that this one is spelt with an E, Elaine. I've never seen it spelt like this before. My husband Matthew didn't like this name because he said it's more of an older lady's name. So by that, I would take it as it's more of a traditional name. He's not really a fan of older names, and I really liked it. I thought it was quite pretty. I've never really heard of it over here in the UK before. And when Googled the name's meaning, I came across lots of different meanings for it, mostly life and light. So moving on to my 5 French baby boy names. My first one is Henry, or as the French say, Henri. I love this name. Matthew wasn't a fan of it. This is kind of like a traditional English name as well, but obviously with the spelling being with an I on the end instead of a Y. I just think it sounds really nice. It reminds me of Thierry Henry as well. When Googling the meaning to this name, I came across a lot of meanings for king, ruler, and home ruler. Apparently it has Germanic roots, where hen was short for Heim, which is an abbreviation of home, and then the Ri, an abbreviation for like mighty, ruler, and powerful. I didn't know any of that, and I think it's just a lovely little name for a little boy. My next little boy's name was Xavier. I love the way that this is pronounced. I prefer it with the E instead of the A, so Xavier instead of the AR. I love that this could be shortened to Xavi or Zave, so I would say Xavier or Xavier. My husband says Xavier, and so I'm just used to pronouncing it that way. It also always reminds me of X-Men with Professor X. Cool. Xavier is of Latin origin. From the Latin origin, it mostly stems into Spanish origin as well. So I think the Xavier was a part of the Basque origins, which probably relates to Javier. And from that, the meaning of the name became new home and castle in Basque. My third baby name is Remy. I like it spelled R-E-M-I, but I know that this is also spelled R-E-M-Y. I just think this is a really cute little name. But obviously you'd have to kind of think about these names as the child gets older and into older age, but I think it actually suits a little boy, a teenager, and an old person as well. I like names that suit the ages. I have only heard of the name Remy through the Disney film Ratatouille. I'm pretty sure the mouse is called Remy. My husband actually knows quite a few Remys, so again, very popular name in France. It has French and Latin origins, and its meaning, when I googled, was oarsman, which was derived from the Latin language, and Remy meant rower, therefore oarsman. I also like that this can be a unisex name. I think a little girl called Remy is also very sweet. I had to stop to have a booby break. She is just having a fit. My fourth baby name is Etienne. I think this is so nice. I also think this could be a unisex name. My husband said no, it's very much a male name in France, and it is very, very popular again. I actually looked after a little boy in my nursery called Etienne, and it's always just sat at the back of my mind. I think it's such a nice name. It is of French origin, and the name meaning is crown. I think that's quite cool. And my last French baby name for boys is the name Blaise. I love this. I think I first came across it in Harry Potter. It's one of Malfoy's friends, I'm pretty sure it was. I think it was Blaise Zabini, the character's name is. And it's always stuck at the back of my mind, and I actually think this would make a very, very cool, quirky name for a girl as well, Blaise. It is a French name. It comes from Greek origin, from a Greek saint, but also has Latin roots for Saint Blasius. I'm not very good at Latin. And it also has an interesting meaning. So from the Greek language is actually an adjective. I can never say that, adjective. which means distorted or crooked, and that's probably why J.K. Rowling named her character that, because he was part of Slytherin and he was, you know, not very nice. You know, he's dark, he's a Slytherin, but that wouldn't put me off this name. I think it is just very interesting. I like a unique name, so if that would be my name and you have to explain where it comes from, I just think it sounds very, very cool. So yeah, that's all 10 baby names. I actually really enjoyed doing this. It lets me kind of live through these names and share them, because even though I wanted some of them, my husband just really put his foot down. He is a bit lenient with 2 of the boys' names that I mentioned. I won't say which ones. I'll let you guess down in the comments which ones I really, really love. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up to help support and grow my channel. I would also love it if you could subscribe and stick around. I would love to do more of these. I know that SJ Strum is the queen of these, but I just wanted to put my spin on it and do a French one because of my experience with French names and trying to name a half French baby. It's harder than you think. But yeah, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!